Welcome to another episode of Married with Video Games. I'm your host, Matthew.
I'm your host, Christina.
And I made Christina play Dungeons of Hinterberg.
I always love waiting to see what you're going to do after you say you made me play insert game here, and then you always do something a little silly. And I keep it in, so it's a lot of different things.
Every time. If you pan out from like a scene from that game, I could hear that song playing from Wall-E.
Thank you. You mean from Hello Dolly?
It's Hello Dolly, but Wall-E plays it. Wall-E does it best.
So I played Dungeons of Hinterberg.
You did. And it was pretty good, actually.
I enjoyed it a lot.
I was pleasantly surprised with how unique the game actually felt, despite it meshing a lot of genres together.
Yes, and they let you do a hands-on demo, like a month ago? So you got to, do a day cycle and one dungeon.
Yes.
And a lot of people's complaints were that, seems like it's going to get a little repetitive.
It was fairly diverse the whole way.
It was.
And the mechanics expanded. I have
I
minor gripes
about
the game,
notes.
but I even thought of some as I went through here. But as a whole, more positive than negative for this game.
Agreed.
Yep. So I'll do a quick synopsis, and then we can do some reviews and kind of dive into here. Is it Louisa? Was it Louise?
Louisa.
It was Louisa.
Luisa.
I spelled it completely wrong.
You put an O in there, it's fine.
Yeah. A lawyer wants to break free from the normal day-to-day, so she decides to head to the small town of Hinterberg to explore its newly found dungeons. With the emergence of these dungeons, there is also monsters and magic. Will this summer trip as a slayer be the break she needs?
Yeah, Hinterberg has had... Bum, bum, bum. Yes, you're giving me that look. Hinterberg has had the dungeons for, I think, 3 years.
At that point
when she shows up into town.
And apparently dungeons have showed up around the world. For me, that's like, hey, DLC? Because they mentioned Venice.
That'd be sweet.
So... each of the areas, well, we'll come back to this in a minute. Dungeons of Hinterberg released on PC in July of 18th of 2024. I think it's PC only now.
It is PC only.
And we played on the Steam Deck.
I just stuck my finger in some maple syrup on this, so we're going to wash that. We're at the kitchen table.
Our son is very good at being a sloppy boy.
Dunking his French toast sticks, and then while it's still dripping, dragging it to his mouth. So
3-year-old.
Like a 3-year-old.
Like a 3-year-old as he is. I said to Whirlwind Attack, the reviews here, I think that was your most used move, other than the Meteor Shower.
The Meteor Shower was great. So was the Whirl. Yeah, we could talk about that.
Yeah.
Metacritic, 80 from critics.
Okay.
7.6 from users.
Okay. That's not unfair of a score.
No. So, I've got Kotaku positive. When it really gets going, Hinterberg's puzzling is wonderful. It is never so abstract or convoluted that you're absolutely stumped, but it does demand focus. The solutions to puzzles are never far off, meaning you just have to think about it for more than a few seconds to piece together what's got to be done. Hinterberg's puzzles are intuitive, and because many of them build off of one another to grow subtly more complex as you progress, you too gradually evolve, informally learning the language of its philosophy and getting to gel with it. In a lot of puzzle games, I bang my head against a wall till I triumph over it, but in Hinterberg, it felt more like I was in sync with the puzzles, and we had achieved a mutual sense of cohesion.
I like that.
Yeah.
We're bad.
We were overcomplicating some of the puzzles, especially at the end, but we were also trying to, get through the last 5 dungeons.
Yes.
So we were a little, tripping over each other, trying to figure some things out.
Yes. I agree with that.
And overcomplicating, especially last night with the moving paddle boards.
That one wasn't the worst of them that we did. It was the electric puzzle with the doors, where we just missed the most obvious.
Oh, yeah. Where you
ever.
lit the thing up and it opened the gate that we needed to get to, but we did not notice that it opened the gate that we needed to get through.
Yeah. Completely missed
that was a
detail.
solid 10 minutes of us trying to figure it out and then trying to find guides online.
Mm-hmm. And then realizing we're just dopes.
We're just dummies. Okay. So my negative, because I did this very quickly about 6 minutes ago, was from GameLiner, which I believe is a Dutch website that I used Google Translate for.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they just I took their, like, overall thing. Because
Okay.
they gave it a 7 out of 10, but... So not super negative, but, okay. GameLiner negative. Dungeons of Hinterberg captivates with its stunning Austrian-inspired landscapes and charming visuals, but the gameplay can feel repetitive over time. The blend of exploration and puzzle solving is enjoyable, yet it may lack the depth needed to keep players fully engaged throughout. While the game's beauty is undeniable, its repetitive nature might not appeal to everyone, making it a mixed experience overall.
I have comments on that, but we'll get into
it's
it
not an
real quick.
unfair take, but I don't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah, I mean, the game, it's an action-adventure.
Yes.
There's no level up. You just get better gear and then attack conduits.
Yes.
Through your relationships, you get more health and relaxation and stuff. There's a day-night loop in this game.
Yes, so the loop is morning, and you talk to a character, and then you pick which biome you're going to go to for the day. Then you get there, that's afternoon, and you can either find a relaxation spot, which will give you some permanent upgrades.
Defense boost, HP, magic, etc. You get
things
more
like
of
that.
It. Yeah.
Or you can go take on a dungeon, and then it takes you back to town for the evening, where you can level up your gear, you can shop, you can do all sorts of leveling up kind of things, and then you can spend the evening hanging out with someone, so working on your relationships with all the people in town. And then there's the night where you're back in your little hotel room, and you can either go to bed, or you can read a book or watch TV, but you won't have as much HP the next day, but they level up a different part
relaxation or amusement and stuff like
there's
that.
4 different parts of
Renown,
amusement, relaxation.
And one other one, I don't remember what it is.
Hold, please.
Familiarity.
Yes.
We were just
We
talking.
were just talking. I hit the wrong button.
And we didn't record anything. So familiarity.
It was only like 30 seconds. Thankfully.
Renown, familiarity, relaxation, and amusement.
Amusement, yes. Your renown always goes up whenever you defeat a dungeon. That's automatic. And then, as you were saying to the muted microphone, that... What were you saying?
Characters that you befriend in the town will give you items, stats. You know, it'll increase my familiarity. This will increase my relaxation, but it also gives you bonuses for the higher friendship you get with them.
Yep, there's 4 levels of friendship for everybody.
Some of them, no.
Oh yeah, there's
3.
The old lady that I never talked to.
There's a dog that has 2.
I
There's some
think she
people
had
has
2.
3, and then 4 was a couple of them.
A couple of them was Alex, your BFF, who turns into a dick in the middle there.
And then she comes back
she comes back around. She's cool. Who else? Renowned.
I mean, there was the blacksmith
Jay,
lady.
Yeah, Heather.
There's famous people. There's the what's the influencer?
Yeah, the influencer. He was not my favorite, but he did kind of come around.
The goth girl in the town.
Yes.
Etc. There's the evil mayor can't be your friend, but she's quite evil.
She is very evil.
And she's evil the whole time.
The entire time.
They're like, this is your antagonist. They don't play around with it.
No, they do not.
Entire game, like we said earlier, is based on a day-night cycle. You don't get to do anything about that day-night cycle, and this is what I mean. So we kind of adapted to it over time, but the way it went is this. You had breakfast, or you were sitting and talking with someone in the morning, always.
Yes.
And then it forces you to choose a biome to go to. So there's different areas to go to. One we call bunny stomps.
Bunny stomps.
What was it called?
Brunel Swoomp.
Brunel Swoomp, our bunny. We just call her the Brunel Swoomp now. And then I don't remember the other biomes, but it makes you choose. Their names are all out there, and I don't remember how to say them. She's looking them up now. But either way, you're forced to go there for the afternoon. Evening is in town, and night is in town. And it's the same cycle. You can only do your shopping in the evening. There's no changing. You can't just stay in town and work on friendships or anything like that.
That was a little annoying that you couldn't choose that
But it kind of
at breakfast. It forces you to go somewhere else. And you can leave immediately and go back to town, but it will take you to evening. Like, you lose your entire afternoon.
There was 2 things about that I would have loved. I would have loved being able to just stay in town and do stuff with people. And I would have loved to be able to go out at night and explore a dungeon and have them be a little bit different.
Yes. Okay, so the first world is Doberkogel. And that's just kind of like a mountain overworld with beautiful scenery, lakes, streams, and waterfalls. Kalmstein is the ice world.
It's a snowy mountain.
It's a snowy mountain. You get one of your powers is a snowboard. That's pretty sweet. Hinterwald, which is the forest, and then Brunelsumpf, bunny stomps. Oh, and then you have to take the bus somewhere as a side quest.
To Hinterwald West.
Hinterwald West. That's part of the storyline.
But all in all, there's only... So all the dungeons that you go through...
They have different ratings, so you start at 1
and up to 10.
Up to 10 is
but
the hardest.
The highest dungeon is a 9 that you encounter.
Correct.
And it doesn't really force an order other than you have to be a high enough ranking really to do them.
Yeah, there was one at the beginning, I think it was a 4 and I was a rank 3. And it said, because it always like has you look at the rating and then says, this is just right for me. And there was one I was a level lower, and it was like, I can do this if I have potions.
Plenty of potions and level ups.
Yep.
So.
It was fine.
Most of the game was fine. I think you got knocked out 2 or 3 times.
I died once.
Entire game?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Last night.
That was it? That was the first time?
That was the first time I died.
Wow.
Aside from, falling off into oblivion, but, like, getting killed in combat. That was the only time I died.
Your playthrough was, what, 19 hours?
19 hours. I went through everything in 40 in-game days, I think. 40 or 41.
And you didn't do everything, mind you. So she didn't befriend everybody. She didn't...
I didn't 100% complete every single dungeon.
You didn't find every coin. Yeah.
I didn't find every coin in every dungeon. There's locked chests around the world and also in every dungeon, and you have to have a particular friendship up to level 1 to be able to open them, and I was not going to go back through dungeons again.
You didn't need
just to get...
No, the coins in those.
Yeah.
Either way, all the dungeons felt unique. Your review was actually very correct in saying that the puzzles did build on themselves. Now, I will say, and this is just me, the middle dungeons, the level 4 through 6, were so gosh darn long.
They were so long. I don't know why either. They had no rights to be.
No, because the early ones weren't so long, and even the higher ones, they weren't so bad.
No, 2 of them were just like boss fights.
Yeah, 2
which
or 3
were fine.
Boss fights, and then you had, I would say your dungeons were 20 minutes to 25 minutes for the later stage and the earlier stage ones. The middle ones felt like they were 45 minutes each minimum.
I would say, honestly, the first like 1 through 3 were probably about 15 to 20 minutes. And then those middle ones, 4 through 7, were probably close to 40 minutes. And then the 8s and 9s were probably a little closer to 20.
Yeah, and the combat waves, I will say
so many combat waves. Oh my gosh.
Increased. The combat was good. It was well done. I feel like it could have done with one of 2 things. It could have done with a level up system a little bit, but instead of that, I think it could have done where you could have learned new combos as you got progressed.
Yeah, that would have been cool if you had different combos. I mean, you have a light move and a heavy move, and then you get attack conduits, which is 3 additional moves you can do that you have to charge up to.
And you can use your magic.
And then you can use your magic for each of those different regions, which the magic is different in each region. You get 2 different moves per region. So, like, in the snow world, you get your hoverboard, your snowboard, and then you get the ice beam.
Yeah, it's made of magic. It's not like
it's all magic.
It's all made of magic, and I feel like you could have used that hoverboard a lot more in combat to escape. Yes,
probably.
To just dash away.
I didn't like using my MP in battles.
Yeah, even though you had unlimited out of battle.
No, in battle you didn't. Out of battle
Yeah,
you
you
did.
did. Yeah, you just never used it in battle.
No, I used it a handful of times because I hit the wrong button.
And the final boss, you had unlimited magic. So
Yes, that was very nice too on the final boss.
So you got to do that. It was... The combat could have done with a little bit more, but it didn't feel unsatisfying so much as it just... that was the part that felt repetitive to me.
Yeah, it was definitely a little too simplistic. I guess when I was browsing through reviews, somebody said that the attack conduits, like, swap them out for different battles, and that probably would have changed tactics, but I honestly found the 3 attack conduits that I liked best and just kept them.
Yeah, theoretically, the only one you could have gotten rid of was for the final boss was the war cry. You didn't need it because it didn't do anything.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
But everything else, yeah, your whirlwind was great. It was good for crowd control, and your other one, your meteor
shower. Oh, so good.
They were both worked out really well.
Yeah, that had a nice AoE. Some of the other ones, like there was a butterfly dome where you like cast butterflies on people, but you had to like move with the people because you had to aim the butterfly dome, and it was such a small area, it just did not.
You never did the dig one.
I just was about to say that there was one where you could like dig underneath, and I assume you would hurt, the dirt that you dug up would hurt.
Yeah, you could have done a
Guys, Diglett. I
Doug
was going to
Trio?
say a graboid, but okay.
Doug Trio.
Doug Trio.
I showed up and then... Yeah, so the only thing... I actually do really agree with the puzzles. I was really pleasantly surprised with some of the puzzles.
I really thought doing the demo, doing the one dungeon, and everybody's like, yeah, it's okay. If it's all like this, it's going to be kind of repetitive. I thought they were all going to be like that dungeon, and that was the one that was kind of like Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, so the ones in that world had that feel in them.
Yes.
But the puzzles weren't just that.
No, and the dungeons weren't just that either. Some of them were just combat. There was one with mine carts that you had to go through. There was the one I did last night where you kept climbing up a tower.
Oh, tricky towers.
Tricky towers, as we called it. There was just so many. There was one where you literally, it was like the Lost Woods to get to it. You missed that part. You were in the bathroom.
Yeah, but you can use the abilities often are part of the puzzle.
Correct, yeah.
So, for instance, there's one where you got a little electro ball and a giant ooze block.
Yes.
And the you have to use that ooze block to bounce your electric ball to go after it goes through tunnels to direct it. And later on, they made you shoot the electric ball, and you had to move platforms and paddles around.
Yeah, move basically paddles to push it a certain way.
To
or
charge
bounce it a certain
stations
way.
to open gates. And it got complicated, but it wasn't so bad that I couldn't piece it together just looking at the screen.
Yeah, you have a better puzzler mind than I do. It would have taken me... There were probably at least three dungeons that would have taken me twice as long if I didn't have you, like, backseat gaming the puzzles for me to be like, oh, move that. No, now do that.
Yeah.
Okay, now that one. Okay, you're good. Whereas I'm like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
And
Well, you had to
you've
build
already figured it out.
You had to build the constellations, and I got good at that from Breath of the Wild. There's constellation puzzles where you had to drop the orbs into the thing to
Oh,
build
yeah, and the shrines, yeah.
So for me, I can look at
Wow.
the patterns of the lights and how they're directed to figure... I kind of got that from
I was
that
thinking
game.
of those shuffle puzzles in Immortals Phoenix Rising.
I was pretty good at those.
Yeah, I just handed you the controller for those.
Like, here, just do this for
I
me.
can't do those ones where, like, there's a square missing and then you have to, like, move things around. Like, I cannot figure out Rubik's Cubes to save my life either.
Oh, I couldn't do a
can't.
Rubik's Cube either, but that's a
Yeah,
different... That's a mathematic formula that I'm not good at.
No, we're not that smart, okay?
Yeah, but all that being said, the game had Zelda-like combat and puzzles. I would say they're almost Zelda-like puzzles. Almost.
Yes.
A little more complicated.
A little more complicated. So Kotaku's... I kept it up just because I wanted to go back to it in this review because they said I'm just going to read this. So, one way in which Hinterberg remains novel is by inventively playing with conventions and camera to radically change on the fly. One level might present itself as a sort of 2D platformer. Another might come across as an action RPG like Diablo, complete with an isometric angle, and some of my favorite levels appear in a snow region whose various dungeons riff on the level design of Super Mario Galaxy. It even has a Lost Woods-style dungeon in the vein of Zelda. And then in the next paragraph, it says, though Hinterberg's dungeons lean heavily into Zelda territory, its combat most notably cribs from Dark Souls, though it's never so grueling. And then goes into like the light and heavy swings. And it is like a light version of Dark Souls, I feel. Not as super complicated.
Yeah, it
but...
had the Stardew's almost as Stardew Valley-esque befriending system for the people in the town, or other no romance but friending people.
Yes.
How did this gameplay compare to other games like it? So I listed a few examples like Zelda, Tunic, Death's Door. Where would you place it in those, and like how satisfying was, I guess, the whole game in comparison to something like those? In comparison
to those, it's most closest to Zelda, just because the combat was so simplistic that it doesn't, like, Tunic and Death's Door weren't terribly complicated combat, but it was much harder combat too.
And I almost felt like their combat was more in depth over time. Over time,
yes.
Whereas this one, it didn't.
This is very much like a cozy game.
It grew a little bit.
But not, it could have made one or two more leaps and have been like pitch perfect.
It would have been pretty, I think if they would have said, hey, you learn to hit square, square, triangle, square, and it would do a combo in the game.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or
maybe it did, and I'm just a button masher, and we didn't know it. That's also possible.
But it would have been really cool to have that kind of either spelled out so you knew.
Yes.
And I don't know. It didn't need too much. I just felt if they added a few more abilities, maybe more conduits.
Yeah, I only got, I think, maybe 8 conduits total. I don't think there were that many more. You could buy some. I think I called her Heather before. It's Hannah's smithery, where she also upgrades your armor once you get your leveling friendship up with her.
I wish when you leveled up the armor, it would do more than just
bump up the defense. And
I wish you could add something like how you had damage reflect, because you forgot charms.
We didn't talk about charms either.
That was what made the game more unique to me.
Continue.
There were charm slots in the game, and these charms would give you definitive bonuses. So one of them, the bigger one she got, was from Renowned, where the more renowned you were, the higher your damage was.
Yes.
Something like that. Or you had one where your biggest one, time slow on a perfect dodge.
Yes, yeah, that was definitely from Breath of the Wild.
And then the other one that we used the whole time is whenever you slay an enemy, they would explode.
They would explode and hit other enemies in the general vicinity.
And knocking them over most of the time and dealing damage either way.
Yes.
That stuff made it feel more unique. I wish you could have imbued
some of that into the armor as well.
Into the armor, maybe not but I would like you had damage reflect. It'd be cool if that could have been part of your armor too, to have a higher damage reflect. Stuff like that, or HP, more HP on slay or something. You could add that. That would have been kind of nice to do, because the weapon, you could do that stuff. You could add more attack power. You could add higher critical damage. I don't know why they didn't add that system into the armor as well.
Yeah, that would be a good addition.
Add little gem slots that you could equip into them. Mm-hmm. They did it for I did it for the sword. I just don't know why they didn't do it for the other one.
Yeah, you could equip those to your sword.
The sword, you couldn't level up the damage unless you equipped a gem that literally did it. But you could add other effects to it, which you did. You had higher crit, but higher conduit damage.
Yes.
And I think you just added more base physical damage
to
your weapon.
I think I did too.
Because you were critting for over 1,000.
I was, but I also had... Oh no, I got that good sword at the end.
The legendary
sword from... Was that Renowned?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was...
Yeah.
That
so
was
you were a rank 10, so you were above the final everything.
I was. There's also with the charms that you have X amount of charm slots, and then they take up a certain amount of slots, and then there's a system where magical elements you find, you can give them to the scientist, and she will shrink your charms. So our goal was to get all of the charms down to taking up 1 slot. And I think I had 12 slots at the end.
You had 2 of them that were 3.
Yeah,
12.
I had 12 slots total, and I think I had 2 of them that were... One was at 2, one was at 3, and then the rest of them were at 1.
Yeah, so
and I had 2
charms.
open slots, so yeah, I had a lot of charms. The thing I just thought of while you were saying things, what I really appreciated about this game was that items you find are just for one thing. So the magical items are just for shrinking your charms. There's no like, oh, I also need this element to upgrade my armor. No, you just need money to upgrade your armor. There's the guys from Letterkenny dressed up as the monsters. Monster parts. They'll buy your monster parts. Like, those monster parts are for nothing else. They are to give to the skids, as I kept calling them, from Letterkenny. And they will give you, as soon as you give them X amount of monster parts, they will give you something. One of them
more health, more... the second one was the best one I think you got.
Yeah, and I don't even remember what it was.
It was an extra conduit, attack conduit.
Yes, because you only have
slot.
2 to start, and then they give you your third one. So
Yeah.
I really appreciated that I didn't have to, like, dole out what I found.
Yeah, your trash was just for selling for money.
Yes, that too. You find trash and you sell it
and
for
you
money.
find goo cover items that this guy would clean for free.
Yes.
I felt that was unnecessary.
It was nice at the beginning of the game where you found something that was goo covered that was like 3 levels above what you had. But you get money so easily in this game that it wasn't too hard to keep buying better armor or better swords.
I think they added the outfit system for a place for people to spend their money.
Yeah, I had like 150,000 Hinterbucks at the end of the game, and I had everything maxed out.
Yeah, you could have bought all the outfits. I think that would have been it.
Yeah, I only changed my outfit once. It looked a lot more like me, too. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
My other comment that I wanted to say, I don't know if you had anything else, but playing last night, I had the thought that it has the vibes of Stardew Valley. This can be as cozy as you want it to be, or it can be as hardcore as you want it to be. If you want to go to the desert and fight the snake monsters that fly at you 6 days in a row, you can absolutely do that. Like, you can just go here and just do dungeon after dungeon after dungeon. Or you can farm. Stardew Valley, you can work on your farm, you can befriend whoever you want to marry that day, and just kind of putz around and do whatever. In Dungeons of Hinterberg, you can do the same thing. You can find a relaxation spot and then go hang out with somebody in town. I also never went to the movies while I was there.
Yeah,
there's a movie theater.
There's individual things you can do in town. There's a spa you never went to.
I never went to that spa. I never met that dude that sells sculptures in his front yard because I never went down that road in town.
You could have gotten dinner access and never went out to dinner by yourself. You went in there the first day and couldn't get in because you didn't have a seat.
Yes, that's true. That guy was snobby. I did not want to go back there. I will not apologize for art.
The game itself is very cozy. I will reiterate that I really did get used to the day-night cycle. I do wish you could have some flexibility with it.
There's one girl that she's like the second person you can befriend after Alex. It's Marina. She works at like the kiddie area in Doberkogel, the first place that you go to.
Yes.
And she like guides you in that area of like, oh yeah, you ask her like where dungeons are, and she's like, there's one over that way, there's one over that way, there's a really hard one at the top of the hill. And then she also works the ice cream stand. Where was I going with this?
But day-night cycle, something to do with her?
Yes. So along the storyline, she gets fired from the ice cream stand. # spoilers, I guess. And then she gets a job at the inn that you're staying at.
And she'll make you breakfast.
And you can see what, like, your next reward is for your friendship, so you know, like, who you want to hang out with, quote unquote. And hers was, like, breakfast selection. And part of me, when I saw that, was like, will she let me, like, go into town and shop first? Mm-hmm. No, she just cooks you little breakfast things where you can get an extra.
Which is really helpful.
It's really nice. She gets you... 1 extra MP slot, 2 extra HP slots, or your attack conduits where they charge faster or deal more damage.
Yes.
One of those. I ended up picking that one once it finally came up.
They charged up faster with the quiche.
Okay.
It was the breakfast quiche.
The breakfast quiche, yes.
So, but we wish you could have done things in different orders. I wish it would allow you to explore areas. And again, I put question DLC for it because that would be cool if they let you just go to the other places at different times. Let you do your shopping and customization. It did make you have to plan, I got this new piece of gear, but I need to be able to level it up before it's better than what I'm wearing.
Last night before we took on the final dungeon, you're like, okay, before we do this, go find a relaxation spot so that you can go to Hannah's shop and fix your sword how you need it and upgrade all your armor.
Yeah.
And then we'll go do the dungeon the next day.
Yeah.
Which was fine, because then that day cycle takes you like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it just kind of reminds you as you get to the end. It might be better if you're playing the game the first time to add more relaxation stuff in the early game, because that'll up your HP, that'll up your physical defense, but it'll also get you through days to build your relationships with other people. And some of the stuff is locked behind quests.
Yes.
So you have to get through a certain amount of dungeons or do a certain amount of things before they'll let you even go to the dungeon and do their quest. But it might be worth, if you're completionist, to do that relationship stuff early on, to build up your character and have more access to more things going into the dungeons. I feel like if you had done that, you would have probably cleared some of those other ones a little bit faster.
Probably.
Because they made you more powerful. That being said, the middle dungeons felt longer than they should have. Maybe it was because of how short the first ones were that's why they felt so
Yeah, they
long.
felt very lengthy. Like, I started one night where I'm like, we'll do this. It's 9:15. That'll take us to like 9:40. I didn't finish that until like 10:10.
Yeah.
It was almost an hour.
Yeah, so just be prepared. Some of the dungeons in the middle are a longer haul. They weren't not enjoyable. They were just much longer than we thought. And
yes.
when you're getting later in the evening, for us, we're like, okay, we want to go to bed.
I want to go to bed, but I don't want to stop in the middle of this dungeon.
Yeah,
I did one night.
They do give you save points in the
Yes.
middle of the dungeons as they get longer. One of them had 3 or 4. So by the third
4.
one, you're like, I'm going to save. We'll pick up here tomorrow evening, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
All in all, still a pretty good game.
Yeah.
It's something I can recommend, like you said, as a cozier game. It's not going to jump down your throat. The combat's not overly involved. It does take some skill.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say you'd be hard-pressed in this game overall.
No.
What do you give it? What's your score?
8.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this game.
Yeah,
it was the perfect amount of like cozy and intenseness with the dungeons, and I think it was a nice break from everything that we've been doing. Like, I fully enjoyed playing this game, whereas like Final Fantasy burned us out, and Stellar Blade was very good, but I was so tired still from Final Fantasy that I really did not enjoy Stellar Blade as much as I should have.
I enjoyed Stellar Blade, but yes, it could have, after following it up after Final Fantasy was rough.
Yeah, this was like, okay.
Before I give my score, what for your developers, if you are going to listen, what would put this game to that 9 to 10 range for you? What would put this game at that 9 or 10 for you?
I would say the morning selection where you could go into town before you go someplace. Adding in the abilities to your armor.
Yep.
For sure, rather than just like upping the defense, the physical and magical defense.
Yes.
Honestly, that's all I can really think of at this point in time. Maybe a little bit more with the combat as well. Like some combo meters or things like that.
Yeah, because I give the game an 8.
Yeah, I was an 8, and then the more we talked in this podcast, I was like, no, I actually really enjoyed this. So
Yeah.
I bumped it to an 8.5.
Yeah, I'm an 8, but what would bump it up for me is the things you listed. I would say if the enemy variety, even if they didn't add more monster types, if they gave the harder monsters maybe a little bit more variety in their moves.
Yeah, there's not a lot of different bad guys.
Once you see them all, you kind of know what they are. And there's decent variety, but it would be nice if like the spiders had a different color even, and they did something a little different.
A little different in a different
Maybe
area.
if the spiders shot a web and slowed you down.
Get rid of those stupid scarecrow dudes with the scythe thing.
Those are the worst. They don't need another variety. They are the worst.
No, they were the worst. Get rid of them. They were my least favorite.
They were very difficult because you had to time your stuff really, and it was hard to
they were very much like a Dark Souls boss of like you think they're done with their move set and they're still going and you get hit 3 times. Like I was not expecting it every time. Literally last night I was like 1, 2, 3. Okay, he does 4.
Yeah, you were counting them last night. I was proud of you. I was like, oh, you are a Souls player now. Look at you.
Oh my gosh, those guys were the worst. No, it was a sickle. It wasn't a scythe.
Yeah, they had the giant sickle.
Man, they were the worst.
They were the worst.
And the mages weren't great either, but the scarecrow dudes were my least favorite. Take those guys out, please. And then I'll give you a 10 out of 10.
If you remove them from the game, 10 out of 10. We're at Gaming Marriage. We're gamingmarriage@gmail.com. If you have any games you want us to play.
Don't tell us.
Don't tell us right now.
You just said I'm backed up on games. We're going to wait for reviews for the Plucky Squire. But Zelda comes out.
Yeah, and our October games are kind of already backlogged for our Halloween stuff.
Oh, yeah, because I got to play Crow Country, too.
You got to play Crow Country.
I feel like I should just start that now, and then I can just post the thing when it's spooky season.
I have a few games that are going to wait till the holiday season, my birthday, Christmas time. I'm going to wait. I have Black Myth Wukong and Space Marine on my Christmas and birthday list.
Okay.
So I wouldn't complain about one of those showing up and we can play those then.
Yes.
But I bought Atomic Heart and I thought that might be a fun one for me to play too.
Okay. You were interested in that when it came out and then it didn't get great reviews.
And now the reviews for it, it's over an 80% on Steam with
because they've made updates to it,
a lot
right?
of updates to it. So I don't think it's going to be the best game ever, but it does. I still like the concept of the game enough that I think I want to jump into it. So if anyone has any other recommendations, we don't need them now, but we'll take them anyway.
You can still email us. No one emails us except for that one dude one time about anime. That was awesome.
So we'll take recommendations from you. So if you have games you'd like us to play, we'd love to hear from you. Any anime recommendations? Maybe we'll do a review on it if you recommend it to us.
That's true.
So if you got something for us, we'd love to hear you.
I mean, we are watching 3 animes right now.
Yes.
Okay. Slime,
Wistoria, and then we're Ancient Magus, right?
Bride.
In between. Yep. I have one other one I'll start watching with you after that one. After we finish those ones up.
Okay.
It's called Tower of God. I started it and I'm like, no, she'll probably really like this.
Okay.
So.
And then Iruma-kun as well, but that's...
we have to wait for that to come back.
Yeah, correct.
Iruma-kun so much.
Yeah, and then I watched the 2nd season of Demon Slayer all by myself, and then actual television has come back in my life, so now I'm backed up on that. I'll get back to Demon Slayer at some point.
Well, I'll be going to bed earlier, so you can have some extra TV time at that point.
That is true. That's going to be very helpful. Rings of Power is just so... The episodes are so long, and I don't have that much time to watch on my TV.
Yeah, well, if I'm getting up for 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning for work...
You're going to be going to bed at 9, so it's fine.
You'll have an extra hour to get some TV.
That's when I'll catch up on, like, Futurama and things like that.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.